Gentlemen, you don't have enough talent to win on talent alone.
Hello and welcome to the Talent Podcast brought by The Wheel. I'm your host, Adam Hess, and with me, as always, his SUV was recently rear-ended in Northern California, and we don't know by who. It's Mike Regan. Mike, how you doing today?
All right, Adam. I'll bite. Who got their SUV rear-ended in Northern California?
No one got their SUV rear-ended, but someone did recently run into an SUV in Northern California.
Just a random person?
Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan ran into an SUV.
Oh, that's how he got, from a rear ending, he got all those injuries?
I don't know. I didn't, do the research on this.
Well, no, I sent you the...
I didn't go through the traffic cams.
It was like he broke ribs, he got 40 stitches in his head, suffered a severe concussion, and it's like a fender bender? Soft.
I think car accidents are just kind of no joke. I think a car accident, you get into a fender bender and have whiplash the rest of your life, or you die. There's not a lot of oh, we were both going 60, got into a car crash, and I broke a toe.
Yeah, it's true.
It's we're just a bag of meat flying in a metal bullet, and as soon as it contacts anything else, you're basically fucked.
You think Shanahan is doing the whole he's gonna take him to court? He's gonna show up in that big neck brace.
The prevailing question I've had is this also the electrical substation's fault?
Smarten me up on that joke.
Really? You don't know about this? The electrical substation is causing everyone to tear their ACLs or whatever in San Francisco?
No.
There's an electrical substation right by the 49ers practice facility. And so last year, very smart people on the internet started to speculate that's why the 49ers have a higher injury rate. And then very dumb people on the 49ers started to kind of believe that.
Of course. Well, I mean, Nick Bosa's on the 49ers, so what do you expect?
I was about to say, name the dumbest 49er you could think of, and they probably have a quote where they kind of sound like they might believe it.
Yeah. I need to start screenshotting, because I feel like once an episode, I mentioned a tweet I saw that I really liked, so I need to start just screenshotting it and call it my tweet of the week that made me laugh. But someone tweeted about the Shanahan story and said, Shanahan getting into a car accident before Brandon Ayuk is the biggest upset of the year. Which I thought was kind of good.
Jesus.
Because Brandon Ayuk's going crazy.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I saw a report come out from Ben Standig of the Last Man Standing podcast. He's a beat writer for the Washington Commanders. And he said, Commanders show interest in Stephon Diggs. And I was like, oh, yeah. So the Ayuk thing, we never talked to Ayuk for a second. We've always been talking to Diggs.
Hey, I mean, I know Diggs is definitely not Diggs anymore, but he did get off on
He's probably better than Luke McCaffrey.
I was going to say, never mind. He did beat the charges, or the case got dropped for him beating the shit out of that chef, so allegedly. So he's clear, and I mean, if you get him on the cheap to be when you're 2 or 3, fine, why not?
Yeah, the problem is that he would definitely be the wide receiver 2 on this team.
Yeah, that's only
pretty
issue.
firmly
If it was
the
bring
wide
him on the
receiver 2.
cheap to be the wide receiver 3, that'd be really good.
He's going to be the wide receiver
McCaffrey
2 and kind of the tight end 1.
Oh dear God! Can you imagine him trying to block who's the premier edge rusher in the NFC East?
Giad Campbell.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Abdul Carter, brother.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because imagine him, or even Brian Burns at that point. He's trying to block one of them. It would be
right now. The
cartoonish
tight
how far
end
back
1
he
on
would
the
get from.
Washington Commanders is Chigakonkwo.
Nice. If I was Diggs and I had to block Abdul Carter, you just go low. You might get a call, but just go low.
What's the worst could happen? I beat charges for beating up my chef. I'm untouchable.
That's all you have to say to Diggs to get him fired up to lay a big hit. Be like, hey, that guy overcooked your eggs. He's gonna be like, ah!
I would like it if the entire thing with his chef kicked off because they had a disagreement on how much fennel should be used or something. Like something very, very niche in the chefing world.
That would be kind of funny, though, if he was back there trying to tell the chef what to do, and the chef was probably like, hey, like, I got it. Like, pro chef, I got it. And then Diggs was just like, the fuck you say to me? Dunks his
It'd
head
be like
into
a
a
Jason
salad.
Bourne fight. Like they'd be hitting each other with like ladles.
Yeah. Diggs held a plastic spatula to his throat. I'll do it, man. He's just sitting there, like, come on. It didn't cut you, but that's gonna leave a red mark. So
that's gonna leave a red mark, yeah. We almost were on track there for a second when we started naming rookie pass rushers in the NFC East.
It's true.
But this week, we're doing a 2025 redraft. Now, we did do this last year, so we could compare our results from last year to this year and see how far we've come since 3 weeks after last year's draft when we did a 2025 redraft.
Did you check your computer? Because I think you did post a graphic for it, so you might have it somewhere.
I probably have it somewhere. I didn't look for it. I did think about that when I was naming my file for this. If it popped up and said, you already have a file named that, then I could just find it, but I didn't even go that far. Mike, we're going to do all 32 picks. So we're going to do the entire first round, back and forth. Now, the rules for this are simple. I pick, then you pick, then I pick, then you pick, then I pick, then you pick, then I pick, then you pick, and that goes on for 16 or so rounds. And it is team agnostic. We are not accounting for the teams at the time. We are not accounting for the team position now. We are not accounting for the teams these teams played for. We are simply just drafting best player to 32nd best player in this draft. If you want to account for positional importance or positional versatility, that is for you to decide how important you think that is. But at the end of the day, we will be sending this to the President of the United States, and he'll tell us who won. So, Mike, you want to go first or second?
You can go first. I hate going first in these.
I gave you such an opportunity there to make the best joke by saying, when I said, do you want to go first or second? If you had said, I'll receive.
Oh, because that's usually what you say to me, and then I go, I'll go first. And you're like,
after the years of bits,
bit. I wish you were dead.
The years of bits.
Sorry. That is the bit that I always ruin that and don't make the joke for you.
Yeah, I was just doing the bit. Yeah, we're both on the same. Yeah, I was just doing the bit. We all agree.
There's a bit. There's a bit of a bit. Bitception.
Oh, Mike. Okay. I had the first overall pick here. This initially, last year, was Cameron Ward, as he's known, the 0-star.
Mm-hmm.
Take a sip of my drink. There are plenty of options to go with here. I just kind of have to decide if I want to go with positional value still, or I just want to go with the best damn player around.
Yeah, it's tough.
I am going to pull up my notes. Let's take a look. I have so many notes written down, and I'm now realizing how unhelpful it is to have this many notes written down. I am going to take scrolling. I am going to take Abdul Carter.
You dick. That's what I was going to take, because I thought there was no way you were going to take him, because I'm constantly defending him to you.
Initially the third pick in the draft to the New York Giants. Mike, would you say he is the best pass rusher in the NFC East?
I mean, yeah, he had such a good rookie year, but because 66 total pressures, but because he only got home for the sack 5 times. There's some people out there who kind of poo-pooed on him. But he had a great rookie year, absolutely. I mean, like earlier when I said who's the premier pass rusher in the NFC East, and you had to say Abdul Carter, it's because for so many years your immediate response was, well, Micah Parsons. But that's over now.
Yeah.
So it took me a second. Yeah, I love Abdul Carter. I still stand up for him.
Yeah, 507 pass rush snaps, which was actually not that high in this class. There was a lot of guys who did a lot of pass rushing. 66 pressures, 4 sacks. Not great. Still think this guy might be Devion Clowney. But we'll see.
No.
We'll see.
I mean,
4 sacks on 507 pass rush snaps.
Right. I'm not saying it's like a lock he's going to be Myles Garrett, but I also don't think he's going to be Jadeveon Clowney. He'll be somewhere in the middle. I think he'll be closer to Garrett.
I'll go ahead and say it's a lock
Jadeveon.
That he won't be Myles Garrett.
Yeah, most players.
I would go that far. I would go out on a limb and say. And you know what? While I'm at it, I don't think Fernando Mendoza is going to be Tom Brady.
You know what? I don't think this guy's going to break the NFL sack record.
Yeah.
Whoa. Hot take.
Mike, your first pick. You can pick anyone besides Abdul Carter. And I guess anyone drafted before the year 2025 or after.
Yeah. God, I'm in such a tough
real,
place right now.
Neutral palette going on in this podcast right now. We're both wearing a lot of gray. There's a lot of white walls around us. Even this couch is kind of like a neutral burnt orange.
It's like cloudy
we
and
need,
like rainy here today.
Yeah, can we get like one splash color? Like, can you just like put some like yellow cake batter on the wall behind you? There you go.
Hold
that right there for the entire podcast.
A little accent color.
Yeah. Perfect. That'll get the people going.
Yeah. God, this is hard.
I'm gonna talk in the empty spaces here because I realized the last podcast that we do a lot of going,
okay.
Oh boy, don't even, ooh, what's happening here? And then it's just silent for a while. So
I would go Ashton Genty. I would.
okay, I'm gonna stop typing.
Yeah, I'm not going to because I am taking a little bit of position of value in this. And also I'm a white podcaster in his 30s, so you know what really gets me going? Blocking. When it comes to offense, goddamn. Blocking schemes, that's what gets me going. So I'm going to take probably like one of my favorite tackles going into last year's draft. Armand Membao.
Okay, see, that's a better pick. I thought you were going to go with Will Campbell, and I got Will Campbell stats.
Membao was on a terrible offensive line. So he had to carry a lot of the weight. So you could look at it and be like, well, according to PFF, he allowed 8 sacks, but that's not seeing the full picture. Watch the tape, brother. Membao was the best tackle out of that rookie class last year.
Yeah. Membao, as you keep saying, 639 snaps, allowed 33 pressures across that, gave him the best pressure rate allowed in this rookie class.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I dare say, I think he might be better than Will Campbell. Starting to think it, Mike. Starting to feel it
also,
in my bones. Went 7th last year to the New York Jets, by the way.
Also, you have to factor in that the amount of sacks a tackle allows is sometimes misleading because in most scenarios, sacks are a QB stat. So
most scenarios, yeah. Yeah, and when you have Justin Fields holding onto the ball for 5 seconds,
yeah,
you're gonna allow some sacks. Mike, where do you think you're going to take Travis Hunter in this draft? Do you think you're going to take him with your second pick?
Jesus. That's going to be the, like, if this was like televised on ESPN, that would be the story they'd constantly be talking about during this redraft. Travis Hunter keeps falling. While Mel Kiper's like, I think he's so good. Him and Shadeur Sanders. I don't know why I did this little thing. I don't know why I did like my De Niro.
Yeah, also, why is your De Niro so shaky?
I don't know. He's like,
it's like he's always saying,
it's like he's always disagreeing with whoever he's talking with. I don't know.
It's like he's trying, like when you eat wasabi and it like really clears out your sinuses.
Not sure. The De Niro should be more of the head nod. It's more the.
What's your if you could only have like one De Niro, like Desert Island, you only get to do one De Niro for the rest of your life. I mean, impression, not like movie.
Oh.
But you get to do one impression of De Niro. What movie you pulling your De Niro from?
Oh, I feel like that you go with not one of his like critically acclaimed performances. You would have to go with one of his funnier ones. I'd probably.
Okay, that makes more sense. I thought you were just saying that like the coconuts and turtles didn't think you were ripping off De Niro. I thought you were like, no, go with a deep cut so the people are impressed. They think I came up with it.
So if I'm stuck on this desert island with someone, they'd try to murder me in my sleep because I'd be just walk around being like, find anything, fucker? You gonna catch some fish, fucker? I got nipples, fucker.
Yeah, I think that there's no wrong answer except Cape Fear. That's really the only wrong answer.
I love his Cape Fear performance. So good.
Yeah, but you don't want to do his Cape Fear performance just like on an island.
Yeah, I was just giving him flowers. Like that scene by the dumpster where he pays the guys to try to beat him up and De Niro kicks their ass and starts his little monologue there is chills. Love it. All right, now back to the Robert De Niro redraft. That's what we're doing, right?
You think we can make a sequel to Cape Fear? No.
Return to Cape Fear? Cape Fear 2?
Cape Calm.
Scarier Cape.
Cape Sad.
Cape Sass.
All right, Mike, my second pick. I'm glad you said that thing about Ashton Genty, because now I know I don't have to take the running back I want here. I can wait on that.
Yeah, you can get
I think I can wait on a couple of the people that I would like, but because I think I can get them a little bit later. And there's some other positions that I really don't care too heavily about getting. I'm going to, as is tradition for me, stick on the same side of the ball here. I'm going to take Jihad Campbell. The Jihad Campbell, man. Yeah.
Nice
just
pick.
all
Good
over.
Pick. Goodbye. Good job by
all
you.
Over the place. Good job by me. Good job by me. Good job by you. Jihad Campbell. Just like a modern tweener player. Could play outside linebacker, weak side linebacker. He could play all the linebackers.
Yeah.
78 pass rush snaps, 14 pressures. Lowest missed tackle rate in the entire rookie class. 368 coverage snaps, which is like competitive for like top 20% in the NFL overall. In that range, 4 pass breakups and an interception. Hey, these Philly guys keep doing this, don't they?
Yeah.
They just do it like once a year.
Yeah, and speaking to your point, he did, like, if you look at what position he played on a game-to-game basis, he bounced between the Mike and the Will all season. And also, linebacker is one of those positions, especially from a coverage standpoint, where when you have one that's really good at it, then it really sticks out. You don't notice it a lot on some teams, but that's because they don't have a linebacker that really sticks out, that they're very good at it. I thought Campbell did very well in coverage this year.
I mean, that's kind of the thing. Like, it's almost hard to define what you want in a linebacker or a safety, which are why those positions are so combined. Because you kind of just want like a player who does everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like if you were like in a lab, you were like, all right, what does your ideal middle linebacker do? And you're like, well, I'd like if he could stop the run really well, like he was a really good tackler, and also if we could use him and like situations where we can switch him in as like a middle pass rusher or have him come blitz off the back end. And if we could like flex him outside and have him cover a tight end or a running back, that'd be good. We need him to have crossfield speed to make tackles or cover up plays. You're like, oh yeah, so you just need a player who's a good tackler, good at coverage, and good at helping out other mistakes in your so yeah, you just want a player who does everything.
Right. It's those middle of the defense guys, linebackers and safeties, because you kind of like they need to be versatile and do so many things. That is why their value isn't the same as some of the other defensive positions. But then when you get one who's actually very good at all the aspects, it stands out so much. And you're like, why did this guy like not go top 10? And this was once again another example of Howie Roseman can't keep getting away with this. Like they let him fall to 31
because he had
like no one learned from Nolan Carter
in college.
Now he played his senior season or his last year on maybe
yeah, but he had something like that. He was another guy that like fell down the draft boards because he like I don't know attacked the vice president of France or something. Whoops, I pulled up his.
But once again, same thing with Nolan Carter. Made him fall down the draft boards, and Philly was just sitting there like, okay, we'll take one of the best D linemen in the class, I guess.
It's gonna be crazy if he has no issues at all, and I just assumed he did because Philly drafted him.
I don't know.
Jihad Campbell. Controversy. This is definitely going to be something about him being Muslim when I pull it up, isn't it? Because it's 2026 in the United States.
I will say the one area of his game.
Oh, durability concerns. Concerns.
And I was also going to say, with the way the NFL is so pass rush is such a premium position, coming out of college, that was the one thing with Jihad Campbell, where it was like, all right, he's got to kick up the pass rush a little bit. And it's probably still the one area of his game he does need to get better at to be like 100% complete linebacker. But it's underrated having a dude just to hold down that middle 5 to 10 yard range. Like people just don't appreciate it anymore.
So I pulled it up. The word jihad directly translate into English into the word effort, struggle, or striving. So they literally drafted a guy named Effort Campbell. Now, how was that not a Detroit pick? A guy named Effort Campbell and you didn't draft him?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Mike. Effort Campbell off the board. Your second pick. Are you now going to take Ashton Genty?
I'm actually not. I just, I'm once again going to go back to the offensive line. and this sounds crazy I'm ignoring
crazy.
positional value a little bit when it comes to offensive line because tackles are always
take here.
way higher in value. Dude, Tyler Booker. What a good pick
exactly
by Dallas. Dallas draft last year and this year, they did really good. So Jerry Jones, they must be like, I don't know, like throwing a tennis ball in their draft room that he chases after while other people take care of making the picks because they've been doing good. Tyler Booker, obviously the guard out of Florida, was it? Or was it was Florida, yeah. No, Alabama. Wow, I got that wrong. SEC.
I also like the idea that you have to like throw a ball to distract Jerry Jones, where you could just ask him where the sun is, and he'll be out there with like a sextant trying to plan it out a year in advance. So far, off the board, we have 1 defensive lineman, 2 offensive linemen, and a versatile defensive piece.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 players that were all already taken in the first round. That's what in my draft prep for this. A big takeaway I had from this draft is I was just like, fuck, good job, NFL. Like, the best players were first and second round picks.
Mm-hmm. They just weren't in the right order.
And then a few 7th round picks. But yeah, like, just, like, we all know the draft's a crapshoot, and we love to laugh at people for fucking it all up because they're terrible. But NFL, like, low-key kind of knocked this one out of the park. They drafted really fucking well in this draft. Outside of Travis Hunter. Mike, my next pick on the board. I think I could get this guy later, but I just love him so much, Al. Here's a guy who he just knows how to play football. This guy, really he's throwing crossbody. He's fumbling the ball with his tiny hands. He's throwing it, light it up to Cameron DK and no longer Chigakonkwo, but they got some weapons for him. I don't remember who. It's been a while since the end of the season. They got some. I'm going to take Cameron Ward, a man after my own heart.
Mm-hmm.
Love me some Cam Ward. I might be the biggest Cam Ward stan left in the NFL media. Are we the NFL media? Do we count as the NFL media?
We do. Most important.
Are we outsiders?
The only ones with journalistic integrity.
Are we like... Are we like, like the OAN of football media?
No, dear God, why would you say that? We're more like Pirate Radio with Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh,
we're out on a boat.
Pirate Radio?
Podcast. Yeah, we're Pirate Radio.
Yeah, we're out. You know what's funny? We are both in boats, but we're also just in pools on boats for anyone listening to the audio version of this. And we keep declaring ourselves sovereign citizens, and the police keep saying, that doesn't exist, pay your taxes, but we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see about that. I'm
like, Cam Ward, first overall pick, 3,169 yards, leading the class, 15 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, sacked a scorching 55 times, also known as almost one Caleb Williams. 3.0 second time to throw. That's got to come down, buddy. Behind that, 39 rushes, 2 touchdowns, and 11 tiny hands fumbles. Lot of red flags for tiny hands Cam Ward. What? But here's the thing, man. This dude flashed incredible arm talent, which is not... I mean, that wasn't, like, not the tape on him, but that wasn't the tape on him. Like, Cam Ward was the number 1 overall pick, coming out of what was kind of seen as a soft QB year. The second quarterback doesn't go until, what? Is it pick 17? Where does, Let me see. 25. Pick 25 is where the second quarterback goes. It's a very soft quarterback class. He wins the Heisman, 0-star recruit. But just like, I mean, from week 1, man, he was ripping crossbody passes on the move all the way across the field on a rope. This dude has talent. He just needs talent around him, and then to not do dumb things or have very, very tiny hands.
Sorry.
If you apologize, then I have to edit that part. So it's better if you don't apologize.
My bad. Yeah, I think Ward, he flashed a lot of his talent. So it's like, if things get better around him, what'd you say his time to throw was?
3 seconds.
Okay, and that's not terrible.
It's not the worst, but it's not great.
Yeah, it could get a little bit better, but that's not terrible. I think he had a struggling offensive line as well, so that didn't help. But yeah, despite some of the rough turnover numbers, especially the fumbles, this, that, and the other thing, completion percentage wasn't great. Sub 60, you don't want that. I think he'll definitely get a lot better this year.
Right, and so they add Wan'Dale Robinson, your favorite. They bring in who we believe to be a good offensive coordinator and a good head coach. They add Daniel Bellinger, who's a good pass-blocking tight end, and will get a lot of work because, once again, it's Dable's team, apparently, even though he's the offensive coordinator. And then you remember their draft at the top of your head?
From 2026?
Yeah.
Top of my head now.
Carnell Tate was their first pick. They also had a Keldrick Fault,
Oh, yeah.
Anthony Hill Jr. So
There's been...
Carnell Tate, Carnell Tate and Wandale Robinson alone, that gives them some weapons. I like Kamara DK and Alec Io Manor, but now they have 4 guys who could all vie for like a 1 and 2 slot on the team. And that's a lot of receiving talent for a young quarterback who's shown the ability to throw some pretty well-placed balls when you don't expect it.
Yeah. I mean,
but boy, does he need to stop fumbling.
I mean, I hope their depth chart doesn't ring true and they just let Tony Pollard be the RB1. I hope earlier in the year they're rotating in Tajay Spears and even Nick Singleton, who they drafted, who's 3rd on the depth chart right now. Like, there could be something there. They could have got a steal. So I would like to see that. There was something I was going to say, and I totally blanked on that. Oh, I was going to say that, I mean, you hear this out of all beat writers, but apparently Carnell Tate looking good out there on the practice field.
Is that surprising? He was the number 4 overall pick.
Yeah, but I was poo-pooing him, so I gotta stay snarky.
All right, Mike.
I think I called him. I think I said there was a chance. I think I said his floor was Mac Hollins. I'm pretty sure that was my quote.
Well, Mac Hollins, pretty good floor, if you ask me. Maybe not number 4 overall.
At number 4 overall?
No. Not number 4 overall. But if you just say, like, in a vacuum, like, that guy had Mac Hollins' career, you'd be like, well, it's better than, most wide receivers.
It's true.
Mike, 7th pick.
Oh, my pick.
6th pick. 6th pick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to take him off the board here. I know there's other guys you could argue were better running backs, but I think Ashton Genty, I know he didn't break 1,000 yards. What did he finish at? He finished at 975.
975.
Wasn't even the most yards of the rookie class. I went to Travion Henderson. But I want you to just keep in mind how god-awful that Raiders offensive line was, like one of the worst we've seen in years. And having that taken into account, and then also the fact that he still had 815 yards after contact, despite having to deal with contact extremely soon, shows that there's a good chance he is what we thought he could be, and with a better O-line, he could cook. So I'm going to go ahead and take Genty off the board here.
Yeah, so Genty ends up 1.6 yards before contact per attempt, which was the 3rd worst in the NFL. Not amongst the rookie class, just the 3rd worst in the NFL. Can you guess who the worst yards to contact in the NFL was? I'll give you this hint. It was 1.4 yards to contact.
I'm going to say either Tennessee or Cleveland.
Cleveland is correct. It was Quinshon Judkins had the least yards to contact. I think that the interesting thing with Ashton Genty is the offensive line was very bad, and that's why he had low yards to contact. But also, I think that it's a little interesting that the 2 rookie quarterbacks that had the least yards to contact also spent college as just like dudes who can bowl people over.
Oh, the 2 rookie running backs?
Yeah, the 2 rookie running backs. What did I say? Did I say quarterbacks?
Okay, yeah. You said quarterbacks at first. But yeah that's true.
And that doesn't work so well in the NFL when you're playing against actual NFL players and not like, natural history majors. Your favorite sport's dumb is my point, Mike.
It's the best sport in the world, sure. Next to hockey.
5 touchdowns, 2 fumbles. Any concerns about that, Mike?
No.
He was only 9 fumbles behind Cam Ward. Are you worried at all about that?
Only 9? No, I don't think so. I feel confident. I mean, the Raiders' offensive line this year is going to go from the absolute shits to not that good, and so we'll see if that's enough of improvement to have them pop off.
Okay. Mike, I am considering going back to the defensive side of things because there is some players that I want. Oh, God, this is going to end up being recency bias, but I think I'm going to take Nick Immanwori here, who had, an all right regular season, but really started to light it up in the playoffs when he kind of figured out his role. Yeah, like the story with NFL tight ends and tackles are always that it takes a while for them as rookies to figure out how to play in the NFL because it's so much different than the college game. I think in this defense that he was playing in, it took him a while to get there too. He ends up playing 14 games, starts 11 of them, only ends up with 1 interception in the regular season. In the playoffs, no interceptions, 3 games. Obviously, they win the Super Bowl. But he's like we were saying earlier with Jihad Campbell, he's just getting put everywhere on the field. I mean, he is lining up basically everywhere that a safety can reasonably line up. He's lining up in the box. He's lining up in the slot. He's lining up as a true free safety. He's lining up off the line in like the front 7 kind of area. He's become, this new breed of safety. He's the newest part of that, which is a do-everything safety in your Kyle Hamilton-esque roles. A guy who is just a piece you can put anywhere. As defense becomes like offense and you just need positionless players like the 49ers offense, players like Nick Manwari and Jihad Campbell are invaluable parts of that on a really good defense.
Yeah. And I'll stop going on rants. Kind of weird. We gotta eventually get through 32 picks, or not rants, but long asides. Manwari, he's so versatile. So in a way, he fits so perfectly with McDonald. But to like your point of like having to adjust the NFL, McDonald in the defenses he likes to run, he's a sicko when it comes to we're going to show you one thing and then do something completely different with the way he disguises what he's doing. And so that can take an extra second for a rookie to pick up. And the fact that he showed flashes throughout the whole entire season and played well, but then really towards the end of the year and into the playoffs, it really all started to come together. Like, it's a great pick. It's one of those picks where when they took him, it was like high upside because he's such a freak athlete, but is it going to work? And then, yeah, it worked. It worked.
Can I ask you something real quick?
Yeah.
What have we talked about for the last 34 minutes? How did we get to 34 minutes into this podcast already?
Well, we did talk about Diggs beating up his chef for a while.
We're 7 picks into this draft. It's 34 minutes into the podcast.
Right.
This is like the actual NFL draft.
There you go.
All right, Mike. You have the 8th pick. 8 of 32 picks. We are 1/4 of the way through this draft.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take the first receiver off the board. And this is tough between the two. But I do think I am going to go Ted McMillan.
He prefers to be called Ted Aurora. Ted Aurora. He likes his,
I'm calling him
his
Ted.
Full name, Mike.
I'm now going to stand out of the Panthers facility
offensive.
And scream Tet whenever he walks out. Big body immediately showed that he is the wide receiver 1 in Carolina, which was good for them because they whiffed on the whole Xavier Legette pick. But a couple years later, though, they got it right.
Give him some time. He might come around.
Give him time. I say the same thing about
Cam Coleman. He ends up with 70 receptions, 1,014 yards, and 7 touchdowns, all of which led the class.
Mm-hmm.
So, probably the right pick. I'm assuming the other one you were thinking about was Emeka Egbuka.
Yeah, who came out of the gate no, it's actually funny because I have minimum targets at 100, and so Burden isn't even showing up. But that is a good point. I do love me some Luther Burden, and I think once now with him basically being the wide receiver 2 in that system now, he's going to have a nuclear year. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Ted McMillan.
Okay. I didn't know if you had more Tet thoughts, but we'll move on.
No.
We'll move on, Mike. We'll move on. No more Tet thoughts. I haven't gone offensive line, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull the trigger. I'm going to go Will Campbell. I'm going to go the Tyrannosaurus Rex himself. So here's the thing. Will Campbell, complicated pick here.
Mm-hmm.
He allows 26 pressures on 476 pass rush snaps. Or sorry, 19 pressures on 104. Sorry, no, I was right. 26 pressures, 476 snaps. Gets injured in week 12. Comes back, and in the playoffs, allows 19 pressures on 104 snaps. He almost allowed as many pressures in the playoffs as he did in the regular season, despite playing a third of the amount of games. Now, is it that the spotlight got too bright and Will Campbell got exposed? Is it that an old fat guy who's too distracted having an affair with a beat writer? probably shouldn't be putting on the pads to test to see if a guy has the metal to block a defensive end in the NFL. I'm never getting over it. It's the reason I'm out on Vrabel.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it that he was just still hurt? We'll find out this year. But it's undeniable that he was the best offensive tackle through the first, 8 weeks of the season. Maybe you would say up to his injury 12 weeks in before Mimbo took over as the best tackle in the class, or maybe you have some Kelvin Banks stock. But he was bad in the playoffs. He was good in their wildcard game. After that, he was definitively a weakness on the team. He was a liability, and he's part of the reason they lost Super Bowl. That and also having a worse team than the other team was the other reason.
Yeah. I will say, to answer your question, I think Campbell got hurt, so he started to struggle. And then when he started to struggle, the rest of the offensive line couldn't pick up the slack. And that was such a huge thing in that Super Bowl, is that Drake May was just under siege constantly. So,
You big Steven Seagal guy?
No, but I am really bummed that the Bucs don't play the Patriots this season, so we don't get the T-Rex battle between Campbell and Ruben Bain. It's tragedy.
You think they would just run their helmets into each other and not be able to reach?
Yeah.
All right, Mike. 9 picks in. Want me to recap the draft?
No.
Mike, your 10th
I know you're
pick.
doing that as a joke. It's a joke. 10th pick. I know it's high for this position, but not really, because you took this position at 3. Carson Schwarzenegger, Defensive Player of the Year. Just an example of that all-around linebacker that made just a massive impact. And might be the
tackles.
best player, like him and Jared Verse, best 2 players on the Browns defense now.
I don't know. They got a pretty good defense, honestly.
They do. That's true.
Didn't they draft someone else last year on defense that I like a lot? Mike lost his headphone, which is a tradition of the Talent Alone podcast.
Hey, shut up.
They drafted someone else on their defense that I liked a lot, but yeah, I mean, you just can't doubt his season. Ends up winning Defensive Rookie of the Year, 18 pressures, allows 2 touchdowns, and has 2 interceptions in coverage and 106 total tackles.
Mm-hmm.
Good season.
Oh, were you a big
season.
Denzel Ward guy?
No, it was someone they drafted more recently than that.
Denzel Ward got drafted in
go through all
2025. Okay.
Oh, who was the
he
last,
got drafted? He got drafted in 2018. Who am I thinking of? Sorry.
Yeah, okay, because I was thinking of Denzel Ward. I don't know who the fuck you were thinking of, Mike. Denzel Ward was drafted super high too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was drafted pick 4 in 2018.
Yeah.
He went
I
to
guess
Ohio
I'm the
State.
draft guy around these parts now, Mike.
Shut up.
Mike, I'm going to magnanimously take Colston Loveland off the board and allow you to have Tyler Warren whenever you would like. Colston Loveland falls 1 spot in our draft relative to where he was taken in the regular season. Comes on, he doesn't even come on. He just has a really consistent season, and the rest of the tight ends did not. Ends up 58 receptions, 713 yards, 12.3 yards a reception, and 6 touchdowns. Terrible pass blocker, but he'll learn. Ends up being a favorite target by the end of the year of one Caleb Williams, especially now that he's eating Cole. I cost $1 billion Komet's lunch.
He is.
Mike, do you want to say a bunch of negative stuff about Colston Loveland since you hate him so much?
No, I'll eat a little crow and say that I was super negative on the pick, and he turned out to break out. I don't think he's ever going to be a good pass blocker. I think he's strictly going to be a offensive threat at tight end. But this is NFL in the 2026, so you really want to have that.
And the Bears just need an elite tight end. It feels right. The Bears need an elite tight end and a great middle linebacker.
Yeah.
It just makes sense, It makes sense. You want Soldier Field covered in snow, December 13th, and there's a great middle linebacker and a great tight end on that team. Or soon, you want Gary, Indiana, covered in snow, and a great middle linebacker and a great tight end.
Yeah.
Mike, your next pick. Have we taken 2 Bears? No, we didn't take Luther Burden. We just talked about Luther Burden.
No. I'm going to take someone who I overlooked. I maybe should have taken him earlier, or you probably should have taken him instead of Will Campbell, and I'm going to go with Kelvin Banks Jr.
Yep. I have Kelvin Banks written down. Here's the thing about Kelvin Banks, right? Saints pick him with the 9th pick. He allows 46 pressures on 636 pass rush snaps. which gives him a worse pressure rate than Armin Mimbo, gives him a worse pressure rate than Will Campbell.
How many pass rush snaps? I have him at 680 for pass block snaps.
I have him at 636.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it just depends on what resource you're using. So good point.
I like Kelvin Banks. There's no shade in that pick at all. It's just that I think that the 3 offensive linemen taken above him are better offensive linemen.
I get it. It's because you hate Arch Manning, so you hate the Texas Longhorns. That's what it is. I got it.
Yeah. Here, I'm just gonna read off the list because there's only one other offensive lineman from the first round I assume that we would take, or we have a chance of taking. But let me just read you the list. Offensive linemen taken in the first round of the 2025 draft: Will Campbell, Armin Mimbu, Kelvin Banks Jr., Tyler Booker, Gray Zabel, Donovan Jackson, and Josh Connerly. That's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 7. That's pretty good.
Who's here? So you're obviously eliminating Connerly. Who's there when you're eliminating? Zabel?
Donovan Jackson.
Oh, I didn't hear you say Donovan Jackson. That's what I asked. Yeah, Donovan Jackson did have a great year. Gray Zabel had a not great, but solid season. Like, jury's still out. They may have hit that pick.
And I think the thing with Zabel is that he was a super important part of the interior of that offensive line, in an offensive line that was dramatically improved over the previous year. And I think that he probably doesn't get enough credit because there's kind of splitting the reps there because they did a lot with the interior of the offensive line. And I think that he is a very good option in the middle. I think Donovan Jackson's fine also. Maybe it's just Josh Connerly that we should say was a miss. Maybe they went 6 for 7
in the first round. Yeah. Gray Zabel, fun fact: his alma mater, North Dakota State, now in the FBS, part of the Midwest Conference.
I see how it is. You mention him, but you don't mention. Jesus Christ, I can't remember the guy's name anymore. The wide receiver that I was high on going into the draft, whose brother played quarterback for the 49ers for 2 seconds.
Oh, Lance, whatever.
Yeah.
Bryce Lance, Bob Lance. I don't know. Remember something Lance?
Lance,
all right, my
a
pick.
lot. My pick? What the fuck are you talking about? You just took Kelvin Banks.
That is true. No, I thought you just. Oh, that's right. Sorry. You started listing off all the offensive linemen in the first round, and for some reason, I thought one of those names was your pick. I don't know. My brain broke. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna go ahead and block you out of all the first round worthy quarterbacks. I'm gonna take Tyler Shuck here.
Yeah, that's the only other one.
Probably a hair too high. I like how we talk. We're like, the Saints got Shuck. They're set. Here's Tyler Shuck's stats: 2,384 yards, 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions,
Don't do that.
45 rushing attempts for 186 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, congratulations, you threw 10 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, so you weren't like, you're not probably ever gonna have a 30-30 season. But like, the Saints should not have Tyler Shuck prevent them from drafting a quarterback ever.
No.
He's probably not worth a first round pick, but we gotta talk the Shuck,
Right. Well, I mean, I think this year specifically is like, all right, let's see how this goes, and if it doesn't, we know we have to go back to the quarterback, like an early QB drawing board in the draft. Like, I think Shuck is only getting 1 year to show.
Here's the thing. If Shuck improves a little bit and is good enough for them to win 6 games, they're fucking screwed.
Because they'll hang on to him?
Like, you got it. In this quarterback's draft, you want your run at the top 3. And if you win 6 games or 7 games and you're just boxed out of that, you're just in the mushy middle. And it doesn't matter that you have Chris Olave and your offensive line's improving and you have good pieces on your defense. It's like, man, like, you're going to have the 7th pick and you're going to end up with, I don't know, whoever the quarterback of Georgia is right now.
Yeah, I think, no, I don't know. Gunnar Stockton's not going in the first round, or if that's what you're trying to say. There's no chance in hell. But I don't know. We'll see. I think based on how the college football season goes, that QB class could go from 3 first rounders to 5. So we'll have to wait and see.
Where are we at in the draft now, Mike? Where are we at in the draft? Pick 14.
Pick 14.
We are fastly approaching the halfway point.
Yep, I will. I'm gonna go ahead and which way do I go? Which way do I go? Left, right.
Are you
left,
scrolling
right,
through the
center.
draft, or do you have notes that you're looking at?
I got notes. I'm just trying to decide.
But
they're not like
they're not handwritten.
they're not like right, but they're not like deeply set and like this you're taking.
See,
just, yeah.
This is my concern. Is like I don't know how much prep you did for the podcast if they're not handwritten.
That's true. Sure.
When you handwrite
I just
notes,
wanna
I'm like,
keep
Mike's fucking
experiences.
locked in for this one. You write notes
I'm
on a
like,
Google Doc, I'm like, oh my god, Mike's phoning it in.
I just have one note. It says 2025 draft players. Should I be a homer here? I think I'm gonna be a little bit of a homer here.
Maxwell Harrison?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit of a homer here. I'm gonna take Xavier Watts. This is probably the biggest reach for me when you look back on this, but I thought Xavier Watts played phenomenal. And I'd say next to Emin Wari was the best safety. Played as the best safety in that draft class.
I think he was probably the best safety for most of the season. It's just, he didn't really get to play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which is where Emin Wari kind of stood out. I think that's our highest climber of the draft so far, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Went 96
I mean,
overall.
yeah, the big thing with Watts is he is, for the most part, exclusively a coverage safety. He does not get sent on a blitz very often.
Do you think anyone's ever said turn down for Watts?
I hope not.
Did you laugh? Did you laugh? Or
I did. I laughed because it was so corny.
I'm trying to pull up his snap alignment to see if I can verify your claim here that he was simply a coverage safety.
PFF has him with only 4 pressure snaps.
So, 7 snaps on the defensive line, 544 in the box, 406 at free safety, and 133 in the slot.
Yeah.
And his 7 on the defensive line, he was lined up outside the tackle. So that's probably defending
right.
a running back
I
screen.
I shouldn't say exclusively coverage, and obviously they can keep him out there for run defense. You don't have to stress about that, but
All right, Mike. Well, I am going to take. There's some good options left that I'm surprised. There's a few players I really want to get, but I don't think that I have to worry about you taking them. So I am going to take. I'm going to take Jalen Walker. Walker, who is kind of, sort of a pass rusher, a little bit, maybe kind of a little bit. Oh, back-to-back, by the way, back-to-back Atlanta Falcons taken. No, yeah, back-to-back Atlanta Falcons taken. How about that? How about that, Mike?
How about that?
And I assume that's going to be the last of the Atlanta Falcons taken. Jalen Walker, only 9 starts, but he pulls off 5.5 sacks out of that. Ends up being one of the highest graded players as a pass rusher on the year. Very good against the run. Gets moved around a little bit. He's not as much of a Jihad Campbell as Jihad Campbell, but he's a little bit of a Jihad Campbell. Now that he's starting and playing, I think he's got quite a future, especially now that, there's issues considering his cohort who was drafted along with him, who might be suddenly getting less playtime.
Yeah.
So James Pierce Jr., probably not going in the draft, you think? Not going in our redraft here?
Yeah, I mean, if we're just eliminating all outside issues, I guess. But, knowing the whole point of a redraft is knowing what we know now. How would you redraft it? And knowing what we would now, we would not. Yes.
Jalen Walker, amongst the edge class, second lowest missed tackle rate, 9.1%. Ends up with 24 tackles. I don't know. I just like the stock,
It's like stock.
It's like the stock. Mike, are you going to take
16
Atlanta Falcon with the 15th pick in the draft? 15. No, 16.
No,
I just took 15.
Walker at 15. Okay.
Yeah.
Jabroni.
Midpoint. So we just need to finish up the rest of this in the next 9 minutes.
We're gonna go ahead and keep it at the edge rusher position. This was one of my favorite edge rushers going into the draft. He got my my compliment that I give my favorite ones, where I say, "That's a grown ass man out there." That's Nick Scorton.
Taken by the San Francisco 49ers with 51st pick.
Nick Scorton taken by the Carolina Panthers.
Nick Scorton taken by the Carolina Panthers with the 51st pick.
Yes, the Purdue Boilermaker turned Texas A&M Aggie turned Carolina Panther. One of I don't know, I didn't count, but based off like a quick glance with that actually counting, probably one of like roughly 8 to 10 rookie pass rushers that had double digits in win percentage. And I thought he really flashed. 8 sacks on the season. Good year. Good job by you.
Good job by you.
Only took 1 penalty. Or is that drawn? I don't know.
Obviously, thrust into a defense that didn't seemingly have a lot of talent. I think the defense ended up being better than I expected. But as somewhat of the presumed primary pass rush option going forward, you know what he was particularly good at? By the way, there was 11 rookie pass rushers with at least a 10% pressure win rate.
I was close.
In a true pass set. That's in true pass sets. Overall, their win rate, in general, he was 1 of 6 with a double-digit win rate.
Okay, there you go.
But I think going forward, something that I really liked about Scorton, really good help defender, really good cleanup guy. He's got that Cooper flag in him, you know? Rallies to the ball, Mike.
Yeah, and at 6'4", 285, he's an actual defensive edge. Those defensive ends, those do still exist in the NFL. Guys who can pass rush and run block or play run defense. Sorry.
Well, in classic draft fashion, I think that this is gonna continue our run of edge defenders because I want to make sure that I get this guy and you don't. Take Donovan Ezeriku, the Micah Parsons of Dallas.
So, pretty sure it's pronounced Ezeraku, but it's okay.
Well, seeing as how you're the guy who refuses to pronounce Tedoror McMillan's name correctly or Travis Achan names correctly, I'm not gonna listen to you.
Big tets.
So he becomes a starter in week 9, and still is 4th in true pass sets amongst the rookie class, and the top coverage player on the line, which, yes, I get is kind of like asking how good is my quarterback at kicking field goals, but it's notable. And Ezeriku does play a little bit more outside linebacker than like true edge, but so it's like something that he has to do, but it's definitely not what you want him doing. You want him, rushing the passer, which is more valuable.
Yeah.
It's always funny when people would be like,
I cut you off, so I'm letting you go.
People would be like, yeah, Aaron Donald's good, but how good is he in coverage? And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care if every time that he's in coverage, he allows a touchdown. Don't put Aaron Donald into coverage.
Real quick, that was the moment when Rex Ryan was cooked in Buffalo because he had his dumb brother over there helping on the defense, and people noticed a snap where they had Mario Williams drop back into pass coverage. People were like, nope, he's done. He's done. We're not doing this. But back to Ezeraku, former Boston College Eagle. You can look at it and be like, oh, only a couple sacks once again. Dude made his presence felt, hit the quarterback 12 times. And sometimes that's just as big as a sack, just putting that QB on his ass, letting him know, we're going to be in your kitchen. We're going to be cooking in your oven, brother.
And he has effectively 8 weeks as a starter.
Right, exactly.
He took over after they traded Micah Parsons in week 9. I assume up until then they had Micah Parsons on the team because I don't know who else they'd be rushing the passer with.
Kenny Clark, baby.
Kenny Clark?
KC.
How's Kenny Clark in coverage?
I don't know. Drop that big-ass defensive tackle back.
I want to see him cover Tedoror McMillan.
There's some crazy defensive coordinator out there in like D3 football. That's like, I'm a genius. I'm going to drop my defensive tackles back.
He just like has like a check where all the defensive tackles and cornerbacks switch places.
Yeah.
Mike, 18th pick. Your turn. You're on the board. Do your picks. Do your pick right now.
All right. There's someone I was going to grab because I feel like we shouldn't let him keep falling, but because you took your favorite tight end in the draft, I'll take my favorite tight end going into the draft, and that is Tyler Warren.
Has anyone ever called him War and Peace?
Warren. No, you can't be War and Peace when you're playing football. You gotta be like War, football, physical, war.
My favorite book is War and War.
War. Yeah, he put up 817 yards. If I remember correctly, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, I think he came out of the gate hot and then slowed down as the entire Indianapolis Colts team slowed down. So
first 8 games, 492 yards, 3 touchdowns. Final 9 games, 318 yards and 1 touchdown.
That's what I was gonna say. He finished with 4, so he definitely slowed down. But I still think he's versatile, got a great size, and maybe the stink could save his job if he can figure out how to make him a dude who he utilizes better.
Remember when everyone got real excited about Phillip Rivers?
Yeah, apparently the Bills interviewed him to be their head coach. I think they just did it for the headlines. Did it for the meme.
Yeah, so that Pagula could get all that fracking money from Phillip Rivers' children. All right, Mike, I am going to take Emeka Egbuka. We don't need to talk about this too much.
Yeah, that's why I almost took him.
Yeah, let him fall in the draft far enough. He was initially the 19th pick. In our redraft, he goes at pick 19.
Nailed it.
63 receptions, 938 yards, 6 touchdowns. Has a huge fall off after he has a hamstring injury and Baker Mayfield's shoulder turns to put in. Mike, as far as I could find, Emeka Egbuka led the rookie class in one stat. Do you know what that stat is?
Drops.
It was, in fact, drops. Led the league in
a
drops.
Bad completion percentage or a bad reception percentage. So,
yeah, don't need to talk about too much. We kind of talked about this wide receiver class when we talked about Ted Aurora McMillan, or as Mike would call him,
Titty tet tet. Big old teddies.
But Emeka Egbuka, he could be the best wide receiver in this draft in a few years. If we could look back and say, God,
That's
I can't believe that the Panthers wasted pick 8 on that bum Ted Aurora McMillan.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not, but he could. He could. He's going to get a much bigger platform this year now that I almost called him Mike Williams. Mike Evans is gone.
Yeah.
Could you see him having 2,000 yards this year?
No, I don't. But I could see him having 1,200 yards.
There you go. All right, Mike. 20th pick. Only 13 picks left, including this one.
Let's go ahead and go back there into the backfield on the offense. And eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Bill Krosky-Merritt.
You know what's funny?
I think
you drafted the 2 running backs I had the lowest on my list of potential running backs to draft.
Oh, really? Oh, there's a reason why. I think one of them, if you end up taking him, a reason why I'll poke holes in that or try to say nay. I think he could have had an even bigger season if they just gave. I know he had a bit of a fumbling problem, if I remember correctly, but if they just gave him the goddamn ball more.
So he ends up 805 yards, 8 touchdowns, 4 fumbles, leads the class in yards after contact per attempt. Fun fact,
dude. Yeah, I'm a sucker for a man who would take this is gonna sound so weird. I'm a sucker for a man who's gonna go out there and take that contact and keep fighting. But yeah,
he had a really good year.
I'm like, why I get it, but why are we giving? What was it? He had 175 attempts, and we give 112 to Chris Rodriguez Jr. I don't get it.
Well, Chris Rodriguez could be the RB1 in Jacksonville this year. Chris Rodriguez is definitely better than he gets credit for, and I think some of that's his name. Chris Rodriguez is a really boring name.
Rodriguez.
But, yeah. I mean, the reason that Krosky-Merritt didn't get more work is because he had all of his fumbles early.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a defensive head coach. It's the NFL, and everyone was on a hot seat. And a guy fumbling is an issue. Also, not very good in pass pro.
Well, it depends. Depending on how this year goes, you might only have a defensive head coach for one more year.
Yeah. You mean when David Blau sets the league on fire and we immediately promote him to head coach?
Yeah.
Is there anyone else I want to take, or do I want to continue this potential run on running backs? Let me take a look at my notes here.
Wait a minute.
What?
The 4 picks prior were wide receiver, tight end, edge rusher, defensive end. So it's not really a run on running backs.
But I might take a running back, Mike, is what I'm fucking saying.
That would two is a run. You're right.
Opened your ears
all right,
instead of just shouting at me like you always do.
I do like to shout at you.
You do tend to shout. I think I can get this guy later, so I'll do. Or I'm actually not gonna take him. I am not gonna take him. Okay. All right, Mike. I am going to take a running back. I'm gonna take Omarion Hampton. The only other running back who was taken in the first round in last year's draft. We are now up to 3 running backs taken, which means we are probably drafting poorly.
Yeah, you got to
But
drop
he plays
the
9 games. What's up?
Oh, that's why I was gonna say you got to drop the minimum snap count to pull him up. But you're right, it's because you didn't play as many games. I'm sorry.
Played 9 games before he missed. So he missed 8 weeks with an ankle injury. Comes back for the final few games. Ends up with 545 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 fumble on the ground. But here's the thing. Basically, his 3 games leading up to his injury, they finally started using him as a pass-catching threat, and he just lit them on fire. He just, absolutely turned it on. He was great out of the backfield. And then for whatever reason, he comes back, and they stopped using him as a pass-catching threat again. Maybe it was because of the injury. Maybe it was because they had so many offensive line injuries that they didn't have time for or they didn't have the ability for really good pass sets coming out of the backfield. But he had such a good run of receiving games leading into his injury that I just couldn't believe. I couldn't believe they stopped using him. His weeks 4 and 5, so he gets injured in week 5. Week 4 and 5, he ends up with 11 receptions for 51 yards at 11.1 yards per reception across those 2 games because he leaves partway through week 5. He doesn't have another game with at least 5 receptions until week 17.
Yeah.
So, if they use him back as a pass catching threat again out of the backfield, I think he might end up being an exceptionally good versatile piece and a very good fantasy player, probably.
Yeah, he's going to be one of the biggest things, I think, for the Broncos this year is they're going to try to figure out how to unlock that and get the most out of him.
Even though he plays for the Chargers?
I'm sorry, for the Chargers. Try to unlock that to get the most out of them because he is so versatile in what he can do. He will be this year in fantasy drafts one of those players that is either going, people are going to want him early. And so it's either going to pay off or he's going to be one of he's going to be the new Kyle Pitts. Why did I buy into it?
I'm kind of buying Kyle Pitts this year. Is that bad?
I took him last year. Everybody picked on me. Actually, he finally got it together. Contract year though, so we'll see what happens now.
Yeah, he did learn at the feet of Kirk Cousins, and that's the main concern there. You really needed Zin that bad? You sprinted over there. I thought it was your phone, and you were getting a phone call.
So doing podcasts has become one of those things when I'm playing video games or after I eat, where my body is just we need some nicotine to do this. It feels good doing it. And moving on. My pick 22. I already took one of my boys early off this team, my adopted SEC team. So we're going to come back around, take the other great former Mizzou Tiger, Luther Burden III. The man.
Yeah, I was between him and Omarion Hampton for that last pick.
Yeah, the man who wasn't the entire reason, but was definitely part of why the Bears were yeah, we're good. We can go ahead and trade DJ Moore.
Now, here's the question. What is Luther Burden's role going to be this year? So he ends up last year, he only has 47 receptions, 652 yards, and 2 touchdowns. However, 2.69 yards per route run, which is 3rd in the league. Now, some of the reason that he had such a high yards per route run is because he didn't run that many routes, Mike. Didn't run that many routes. So what's his role now? Is he going to be out on the field a lot more? He can't pass block because he's, very small. So what is Luther Burden to you?
Luther Burden, to me, is just an absolute playmaker. I think he's going to be the 2 on the other side of Odunze, but he's also a lot of top receivers in the NFL now. If you're a legit, really good receiver, you're not just going to be playing the boundary. He can also move into the slot and do damage, especially if you get that ball into his hands after the catch, give him a little space. That was the problem last year is they had this crowded receiving room. They got 2 tight ends. They had DJ Moore, Odunze, etc. And I don't think some game when he got targets, he cooked. There was just games where he didn't get on the field as much and didn't get as many targets.
And that's not good for you if you play wide receiver, correct?
Yeah.
That's notably a bad thing typically.
That is it's a hot take, Adam, but I think you're right. That's pro football analysis right there, down to the molecular level.
We try around these parts to be the number one source for all pro football analysis. That's why we're starting our website, pfa.com. Sponsored by Al Michaels.
Adam.
All right, Luther Burn off the board. Mike, do you want me to recap the draft?
No. You're just going to post a graphic.
Like, I'm going to take,
all right?
I'm going to take a pretty big faller so far. I'm going to take Mason Graham out of your Michigan, University of Michigan.
Yeah.
He was the fifth pick.
Good job by you.
Fifth pick. He was the guy that I liked that the Browns took, by the way, that I forgot.
Oh, okay.
Fifth pick. Played 765 snaps last year, which was 9th most in the NFL. The guy wouldn't leave the field, which is surprising because typically rookies get pretty gassed down the stretch because they're used to only playing like 6 games in college because it's not a real sport.
I hate you.
But so he ends up being a complete stalwart in the middle of that defense. Doesn't have a huge pressure rate, but that's not what you draft him for. You didn't think he was going to be Aaron Donald. You just wanted him to be like kind of a stalwart in the middle of the field. But he does end up with 36 total pressures as well as 36 tackles. Not eyes jumping off the page kind of numbers, but you got a guy in the middle of your line that you know is going to discourage runs up the gut, and that's all you really need him to do, honestly. You just need him to be there for other teams to go, fuck, I guess we'll go around. You want funnels. You want funnels.
You want funnels, people.
It's like Wimby.
Yeah, that's
you don't need Wimby to have 11 blocks, although he keeps getting it. You just need players who decide not to lay up because Wimby is there.
Yeah. Him and his fellow Wolverine, Kenneth Grant, went in that draft, and he had a much better season than Kenneth Grant.
You a big Kenneth Grant guy?
No. I mean, I liked him coming out, but he's not. I mean, he was also on the Dolphins, so what fucking, what chance did he have in that sad, sad room?
Oh, it's a very, very sad room. Mike, 24th pick.
Yes. 24th pick. This is a guy who I overlooked him. I can't believe I didn't jump on him earlier, but he came out of the gate hot, then struggled with injuries, and then was on a terrible team. So it doesn't look as great sometimes, but Will Johnson, man. That's still my favorite corner from that class, hands down.
Where did he end up going in the draft?
He didn't go till round 2, pick 47 to the Cardinals. I was
said
incensed.
That like that was outrageous.
Round 2? Yeah, I was incensed the day of the draft when this was happening, when this man was just falling and falling, considering how good he was.
How many games did he end up playing?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He only ended up playing only 12 games. His first 2, he didn't start. Missed weeks 3 and 4 after looking good, and then became the starter. And it's kind of like up and down all season. But I think just like the talent's there, and you saw enough of the good to realize that they have him. And if what's his face on the other side can bounce back from also another shaky year. Never mind. I don't know who I was thinking of. Never mind. But Denzel Burke, their other rookie corner last year, that's who I got confused with Denzel Ward, because Denzel Burke and Denzel Ward both went to Ohio State, I think. So, but him and Burke, they could have a very good young cornerback pairing. Or it could go terrible. Oh, Garrett Williams was the other.
Yeah, did you mention Garrett Williams?
Yeah, Garrett Williams, they primarily played at the nickel, I think.
Yeah. Although I think Garrett Williams is probably their best corner. And they have old man Buda Baker still hanging around.
Yeah, man, the ceiling of that. But we talked about this last week when we were talking about the Cardinals and like talking about worst record and stuff like that. That like defensively, there are some pieces to really like on this team. So they could win some games where you're going to be like, why'd you win that game? Now you're picking 7th.
All right, I'm going to go back to the running back well. I am going to take another 7th round player, Kyle Monungai.
Yeah, the Monungai. I love it.
Kyle Monungai, who went slightly ahead of Bill Krosky-Merritt, so not quite the highest raiser of the draft so far. That honor still does belong to your pick of JCM. But Monungai ends up across 17 games, 783 yards, 5 touchdowns, no fumbles, 18 receptions all year. So we'll have to see if he can pick up some of that pass catching work. Obviously, there's a reason this guy went 7th. He is a 3-down back who does not seem to catch a lot of passes. And also, they have DeAndre Swift on the team. So, do they need Kyle Monungai to catch passes? Probably. It'd probably be nice, but you don't need Kyle Monungai to catch passes. You just put DeAndre Swift out there. You switch jerseys with them. They don't know who's coming out of there. DeAndre Swift probably had like 6,000 receiving yards. I didn't look it up because he wasn't a rookie.
Yeah, it's definitely a legal thing to do. Just have them switch jerseys. In the NFL.
Who's going to notice? They look identical. Same height, same weight, same hair. Mike, you got any Kyle Monungai tales to regale us with real quick, or you just ready to make the 26th pick in the draft?
I'll just say real quick. He definitely, like you just mentioned there, he fits he's the yang to DeAndre Swift's yin, so it gives him that good pair of running backs out of the backfield.
26th pick, Mike. Who you taking?
26th pick. Who shall I take?
We've had 4 running backs go. Is that an indictment of our ability as drafters, or is that just this class might be stacked at running back?
I'm going to go back
you didn't really,
you
just accepted that, didn't you? You just said,
yeah, I did.
I guess
I'm going to go. No, I'm going to go back to the I'm going to go back to the tight end well. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But which one do I want here? Because I like both these boys.
Which one do you want?
There's 2 tight ends.
There's one left who is reasonable to take here. How could it possibly be which one do I want at the 3rd tight end in this draft?
All right, I'll go Harold Fannin Jr.
If you I was about to drop kick you if you took Rondé Gadsden.
Do you know that was the one I was thinking about. Gadsden's good. Why are you hating?
Because he's good, but he's like there is a simple top 3 from this class, and none of them are Rondé Gadsden. Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, I'll go ahead and go with Harold Fannin Jr. 6 touchdowns on the year, which I believe that tied Colson Loveland among tight ends. Very good season. Just too bad he's on
Harold Fannin Jr. had 731 yards and 6 touchdowns with Shadeur Sanders, whoever that other kid was from Oregon, and
Dylan Gabriel.
Let's say Brock Purdy's younger brother throwing passes to him.
Yeah. That's true.
Rondé Gadsden had just outside of the MVP conversation Justin Herbert throw into him and ended up with 664 yards and 3 touchdowns.
10 contested catches. Love to see it.
For Harold Fannin or Rondé Gadsden?
For Harold Fannin.
Okay. The Rondé Gadsden conversation. It just gets to me, Mike. I feel my hackles getting up. My Padalakis are in a bunch.
You are immediately triggered.
Don't say triggered. It triggers me.
Triggered by the trigger.
Is that funny? Is that a good joke?
Maybe. We'll workshop it.
Okay, Mike. I'm going to take a Lathan Ransom, another Kakalaki player.
I like that.
Another Kakalaki player. A guy who finished the season exceptionally well in the final few weeks and started off the season exceptionally well and then had some real trouble in the middle when they were bringing him off the bench. They were trying a lot on this defense to try to find their place in this world, figure out what this team was going to be. He only ends up with 1 sack and 28 tackles, but he allows 172 yards in coverage, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 1 pass breakup. Another guy they moved all around, 5 snaps in the defensive line, 40 in the box, 267 at free safety, 24 at slot. Doesn't get a lot of opportunity yet, but I think this guy's stars pointing up. Had a very, very, very good season by PFF grades. A especially against the rush and as a tackler. And I think that we could see him improve as a coverage piece as free safety in the second year. I just think this guy's star is pointing up a little bit here.
Yeah. Ransom was also in like the Denzel Burke category with me as that draft was going on, where I was like, dude, he's an experienced player coming off a very good team in Ohio State that just won a national championship. There's probably something there that's worth taking him. And so I think I was a fan of Ransom, and I think that worked out well for that pick. We'll see how this year goes.
I'm just going to clip that and use it whenever I need it. If you just going, I'm a fan of Ransom.
I like it.
All right, Mike, you can go ahead and take Rodney Gadsden now.
Nah, I'm going to pass on Gadsden.
You're going to pass the Gads?
I'm going to pass the Gats. You know what? Let's go ahead and swing back around to the offensive line. One more guy I got here that I like in the first round. And that's a little Tate Radledge. Detroit Lion, offensive guard.
Surprised you took him over Gray Zabel. I think that I like Gray Zabel better on the tape. I'm not sure who has like better numbers.
Yeah, he was a late second round pick originally by the Lions, and I also don't think of the Lions as having a great offensive line.
Yeah, it really fell off a cliff last year.
Say that? It really did, but I think he was one of the bright spots out of it. Only gave up 2 sacks.
Remember they had like Frank Ragnow retire and then try to come back from retirement, and they went, "Nah, your legs all wrong."
Mm-hmm. You're cooked, Bretta.
You cooked. What were Tate Radledge's stats? I said that totally normal, like a normal person.
Run that by me again. Ratledge played 1,088 snaps, 440 run blocks, 648 pass block, only gave up 2 sacks and 13 hurries in that time.
Not bad, Mike. Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to take this guy, but just because you didn't take a guy who I think is better than Ratledge, I kind of feel like I have to take him now. Yeah, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go with Ozzie Trapelo. Another Chicago Bear goes off the boards, Mike.
Another Boston College Eagle goes off the board.
Another Boston College Eagle. Not a ton of snaps. Only ends up playing 11 games. He has 282 pass blocking snaps, during which time he allows 2 sacks and 10 hurries for a total of 15 pressures. Not incredible, but not so bad when you consider the kind of platform that Trapelo was going on, where they do not have a good pass blocking tight end on that roster. So the tackles are often a little bit on an island, and very limited snaps for a guy who I think performed quite well, given that he wasn't seen as like a premium tackle in this class.
Yeah, and I think tackle is one of I think offensive line in general is one of those positions that experience is so important. And so for a rookie to come in who wasn't even first round, he was picked in the second.
56.
Yeah, 56.
1 pick after Tate Radledge.
Yeah, and so for him to then step in and have to start the second half of the season and play pretty well, that's a good sign. Yeah.
Well, I undercut you by 1 pick there, Mike. I took we flipped the draft. Ozzie Trapelo went 1 pick before Tate Radledge, and in our draft, Tate Radledge went 1 pick before Ozzie Trapelo.
I'm sure Ratledge is going to hear this. He'd be like, "Yes, I knew I was there."
We are running this out. You got the 30th and 32nd pick here. Would you like to trade up?
No, I don't think I will. There's someone I could take here, but I refuse to take him on principle. We'll see if you end up doing it. I didn't think I was going to go this route. I thought he wasn't going to make the cut for me, but I think this is a guy who, when the rest of the defense picks it back up this year, is going to make an impact. I like Malachi Starks.
This is a you were in on the ground floor. This is like you're telling people, oh yeah, I saw Nickelback at Burning Man in 1999 before they were famous.
Yeah, I mean, he was taken 27th overall, so this is a first-round pick, only going 3 picks later. But still young. Keep in mind, he's only 22 right now, so he came into the league younger than some of these other players. And I thought he played very well for himself. I mean, he didn't blow the world away, but I thought he played pretty solid. And he's under the learning tree of arguably the best safety in the entire league, so that will help.
Yeah, and he didn't play the full season, I don't believe. I can't remember off the top of my head now. But not
he
the.
did.
Did he? Am I a lie guy?
Snap count was kind of up and down, but he did.
Yeah, increased role. I think we could see something out of him. This could end up being a pretty good safety class too, which is worth remembering.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, I'll do it. I'm going to take Travion Henderson.
Okay, cool. He's fake. He's a fraud.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a fraud, which is why he fell so far in this draft. I'm sure anyone listening to this that heard us take 4 running backs ahead of him was like, what are you guys doing? He led the rookie class in yards and touchdowns and only had 1 fumble. But he has 18 rushes of 10-plus yards. He was not very good at running through contact. He wasn't a huge receiving threat. He definitely had some receiving work, but 211 yards and 1 touchdown. If he steps that up, it could be a different conversation, but for the time being, not that scary of a receiver. It really was just he has breakaway speed, and if he got outside of someone, he could just go for 80 yards and score a touchdown, and that really makes your counting stats look quite good. And it's not a bad skill, to be fair. That is not a bad skill. But unless you're like Saquon Barkley and can just plow through contact and get outside and run upfield, there are some limitations when you're a guy who your game is, I'm going to get outside of the corners, and they're not going to have any safety help, and they're not going to have fast enough outside linebackers to get to me, and then I'll just gas everyone up the field.
Yeah, if I knew he was going to go in this redraft, I would have taken the time beforehand to go through his entire season and remove all of his massive runs and be like, this is what he really did. When you take out the ridiculously long runs, this is what he really did. This is who he really is, to be that guy. But yeah, and the crazy thing is, going into that draft, especially after the combine in Ohio State's pro day, the big thing about him and Judkins both coming out of Ohio State was, wow, both those guys can catch the ball too. This is great. He wasn't a big receiving threat this year. Sorry, something in my throat.
He did not lead the rookie class in rushes of 10-plus yards. But the guy that did, Ashton Jeanty, played through contact exceptionally well. And same thing with Ja'Cory Cross-Kamara. It was 2 guys who played through contact well and had some real explosive runs. Yeah. Whereas you look at Travion Henderson, and he has weeks where he has a long run of 3 yards, and he has weeks where he has a long run of 69 yards, and that's kind of what you expect out of a guy like him.
Mm-hmm. So like I said, fraud.
Hold on, there's a stat here. I'm trying to figure out what it is. Designed rushing attempts of 15-plus yards or more. He has 2 in a week, 3 in a week, 1 in a week, 2 in a week, 2 in a week. So he has, like I said, he has the breakaway speed. It's the down-to-down, the first and 10, can he get you 4 yards stay ahead of schedule that has some more question marks around it.
Yeah. Agreed.
Right. Mike, Mr. Irrelevant here. Your final pick.
Final pick of this draft. There's so many people that are right on the fringe of what I take him. That's why I'm struggling. I think I'm going to do it. I guess I'll defend this by saying I'm adding positional value to it. Jackson Dart, you can be a first round pick again in our redraft. He is a dual threat with his legs. He definitely has to clean a lot of stuff up as a passer, stay healthy, not run head first like his friend Cam Scatterbow. And maybe not. It's unfortunate that his star edge rusher, they said that beef was all squashed, so I won't get into that.
Well, and his star wide receiver missed a lot of the season. So Dart starts 13 games, obviously misses a lot of time with concussions. Here's the thing. Jackson Dart's actually probably had the best rookie season. He played less games than Chuck and was competitive in basically every stat category with him. He played less games than Cam Ward and was arguably better in most stat categories outside of things like yards, which the reason that Cam Ward was better is because he played more games and was in passing situations slightly more often. He was a little bit safer than with the ball than Cam Ward, a little bit more dangerous than Tyler Shuck, but there's an argument to be said that he had the best rookie season. However, going forward, I don't want the guy who, is probably going to get 2 concussions a year. Also, 3.08 time to throw, longest in the rookie class.
Right. I mean, he started 12 games and had 24 touchdowns. If you combine, passing and rushing. And I mean, that's become such a big thing in NFL today. He's surprisingly shorter than I thought he was. He's only 6'2". But
That sounds about right.
yeah, it does sound about
What do you
right.
think? He was
I mean, I wasn't calling him
6'4",
a first.
6'5" quarterback size.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't grading him first round going in because I just didn't see the accuracy, in some of the being able to make some of the NFL throws you want. But I feel like more and more in the NFL today, we're seeing offensive coordinators figuring out ways to make these QBs work.
Yeah, I think that's
around their
important.
skill set. Yeah.
All right, let me rattle off what happened in those drafts. So, real quick. So I'm going to read these in order from pick 1 to 32. All of the odd number picks are mine. All the even number picks are Mike's. So I'm not going to say who picked them. I'm just going to read the number and the player. 1, Abdul Carter. 2, Armin Mimbo. 3, Jihad Campbell. 4, Tyler Booker. 5, Cam Ward. 6, Ashton Genty. 7, Nick Emenworry. 8, Tedroor McMillan, or as Mike would call him,
Big titty tet.
9, Will Campbell. 10, Carson Schweisinger. 11, Colston Loveland. 12, Kelvin Banks Jr. 13, Tyler Shuck. 14, Xavier Watts. 15, Jalen Walker. 16, Nick Scorton. 17, Donovan Izariku. 18, Tyler Warren. 19, Emeka Egbuka. 20, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. 21, Omarion Hampton. 22, Luther Burden. 23, Mason Graham. 24, Will Johnson. 25, Kyle Monangai. 26, Harold Fannin Jr. 27, Lathan Ransom. 28, Tate Rutledge. 29, Ozzie Trapillo, depending on which one of the two of us is saying it. 30, Malachi Starks. 31, Travion Henderson. And 32, Jackson Dart. The largest climber in the draft by a hair would technically be Kyle Monangai, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, who climbed from 245 up to 21. Second place goes, of course, to Kyle Monangai, who goes from 233 up to 25. The largest follower in the draft, Travis Hunter, who was not drafted.
Never even considered
he plays
either of us.
Two positions for the price of one
he barely
pick.
placed 2 positions last season. Oh boy.
Mike, any quick takeaways here? Anything that you regret in life?
I think if people looked at this, Dart's probably going to be the one we get the most comments being like, "Oh, Jackson Dart should have been higher." And then I think the two that people would probably be like a little like, really? Would probably be Lathan Ransom and Malachi Starks. But we both found 2 safeties that we thought highly of based on what they showed.
I think people would say I probably overdrafted Cam Ward as well at 5 with a lot of premium talent left on the board. Yeah. We had a lot of tackles taken, a lot of running backs taken that people could probably level with a little bit. There's probably more premium positions, but you know what, Mike? It was our draft, and you didn't do it on the internet, and you're not going to edit this video, so go fuck yourself. Mike!
Exactly.
You got any plugs on the way out the door here?
No. Watch our stream.
All right.
Oh, we also have, I think, SummerSlam this weekend, so we might have more
SummerSlam's this weekend
coming up. Yeah, we'll have more wrestling per birthday coming up.
Yeah, so if you like wrestling, be sure to check out our predictions. We do analysis and predictions for every match, and by analysis, I mean sometimes we do analysis, and sometimes we just make jokes. But the jokes are usually pretty funny, so come check out the jokes.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to watch our stream, we stream on Twitch. That's all in the show notes. Our socials are in the show notes. Our email's in the show notes. Email us and tell us who after this draft, you would have taken with the 33rd overall pick. If you're watching this on YouTube, first off, thank you. Be sure that you are subscribed and not just watching this whenever it pops up in your homepage. Be sure to like and comment below. Tell us who you would take with the 34th pick after the emailers took someone with the 33rd pick. And if you're listening to us on Spotify, once again, thank you. Be sure you follow because every week Spotify yells at me about my follower count. And comment below telling us who you would take with the 35th pick. And Mike, with that, would you like to give a shout out to any draftees on the way out the door?
Yeah. I won't do Big Tay Tat, so I'll go ahead and give a shout out to Lathan Ransom, starring Mel Gibson.
I really thought you were going to go with Big Titty Tat again. I'm proud of you. Let's get out of here.